Hey, this is Sarah, and I just wanted to do a really quick review of a book I have read before, years ago now, about 6 years ago now, called The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, because I'm currently working my way through the Wheel of Time series. I'm a goodly portion of the way through The Great Hunt at the minute. If you're not familiar with the series, by all means, check it out. It's available through Amazon and other book places. It's supposed to be releasing the last book of the series. I don't even know when. It's been put off so many times, I've just stopped paying attention. I'm just going to wait until somebody says it's out and I have mine, and then I'll worry about it. But essentially, once that's released, it is a 14-book series about a variety of things. So I thought I would talk to you today about The Eye of the World. So we meet Rand al'Thor, Perrin Ibera, and Matron Coffin. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. In the lovely village of Emond's Field in the Two Rivers. And they're just normal boys, and they're just getting ready for a festival with their families. But there's been a lot of wolf attacks and things like that. People have been very stressed, so they've been waiting for this, seriously, for months. They're like, it's not even real spring, but we're gonna have a party. Because basically they're having Beltane, so May Day. So yeah, Rand and his father come into the village, and there's a gleeman, which is basically like a bard, juggler, musician thing, all rolled into one, fire-eating, tumbling, all sorts of stuff. Who is a little man named Tom Merrilin, who used to be, as we find out later, a court. What was he? He was a court bard, we think, for Queen Morgas of Andor. We also get to meet Padan Fain, who is the peddler, who is always the first peddler of the year, and the peddlers are very important to the villages because they're the ones that go out into the world, and these village people never leave. Like, they just don't. They move like 5 miles down the road from Dad's house, make a new farm, make lots of babies, and die there. That is what it's about. Very boring people. So yeah, it's generally pretty much like that. So I don't really know what to say other than, because it's so. Okay, so screw it. I'm just gonna. Let's just assume it's a spoiler alert. If you haven't read the books, then I would just say, I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been reading this series for years. That was a message alert. It's very good. I enjoy it. You know, some bits are better written than others, but that's, I think, the truth with any mega series, really. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book. Rand and his father go back to the farm for the night. They're going to show up to the big festival the next day. In the night, Trollocs, which are kind of like trolls. They're kind of not. They're also kind of like dudes. If dudes had sex with bears and goats and pigs and things. They're horrible. And there's also Myrddraal, which are the eyeless or fades. They're called any number of things. That's the thing about this. He put together an amazing amount of backstory. He put together, well, I think as near as possible language. You know, there's a lot. He put a lot of thought into this. There was a lot of notes, I know. I've heard there was a lot of notes that he had made over the years. You know, there was an incredibly rich backstory, as I think there is with a lot of fantasy books of this nature, where it's just a huge world. We learn about the Aes Sedai, or Aes Sedai, depending on how you choose to pronounce it. We learn about loads of stuff, and specifically we learn about the Eye of the World, which is... Okay, if we talk about the world itself, they live in fear of men who can channel and the Dark One, or Tai-Shan. We're not supposed to name the Dark One, because his gaze will fall upon you and bad things will happen. It's a very... not religious, like they're not religious. You never hear of them like worshipping or anything, but there's, I don't know, like faith, but very superstitious faith as a whole. All of these people, we learn that Perrin can talk to wolves. We don't hear anything about Matt's luck yet. We do see Rand channel the One Power. We also meet Loyal and Ogier, who are these extremely tall creatures that are built like brick shithouses and really gentle and love plants and build amazing stoneworks. There's just so much backstory. It's like I would literally be sat here for hours. I think that's what I've always really enjoyed about the books, is that there's so much. He really put together a history. There was a lot of effort put into it. It's really great. We also get to meet the White Cloaks, specifically Byre and Bornhold. We kind of get to see Niall a little bit in like a backflash. Flashback? That would be correct. Backflash? So yeah. And generally it's pretty good. You know, they're amazing books. There's a reason why there's a lot of people looking at these and reading these, and have been reading these for years and putting up with this, because I know so many people that are like, I started this series, I have to finish it. It's like a force of will behind finishing it, but it's so worth the read. I mean, the Sword of Truth series, for instance, by Terry Goodkind, I've read a few of them, but I don't ever feel as compelled reading those as I am to, say, read this, or as I am to get my ass back into the Song of Fire and Ice, which I really need to get back into. I put that aside for so many things. I think because I put things on my phone, and because I have the physical books for A Song of Fire and Ice, I cannot justify putting it on my phone, but taking my phone everywhere is just so much easier, which is so bad, and I swore I would never be one of those people, because I would always love just a book, and I do love the book. Then when I'm going to bed at night, actually it's better, because after a while my phone runs out of batteries, and I have to plug it in, whereas an actual book, I find myself up until 4 o'clock in the morning reading, and then I have to go and do things. It's not pretty. So yeah. We learned that 3,000 years beforehand, there was the breaking of the world. Basically what happened is the Dark One is held in this massive, let's say, egg of doom. So the Dark One's in the Egg of Doom, and there's a boar in the Egg of Doom, a hole. It's not clear as to whether, I can't remember whether or not he put the boar into the Egg of Doom, or if it was Aes Sedai. There was male and female at the time, but I know that they put the seal on it, the patch. But as punishment, before he was tucked away there with his 12 Forsaken. Yes, I think it's 12. Who are very, 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 very bad. So before the bore is sealed completely, he puts a taint on the male half of the true source, which makes all the men who can channel go insane, including this guy named Luz Theron Telamon, who nukes everyone. Just everyone. And then when he is momentarily cured of the madness by one of the Forsaken, I'm not really sure. That's where I get confused, because like he should be behind. I'm not sure, but he is cured for a moment, and he goes completely insane in a real sense, not a tainted sense, and goes out and goes to this one spot and just screams and curses so loud that lightning shoots down, and then basically a volcano happens under him and he's buried in it. There's this thing called the Dragon Mount, because they call Luz Theron Telamon the dragon, and that's his mountain. And beneath his mountain, the river splits to reveal a island, and that is where they built the White Tower, where the Lady Aes Sedai now live. So yeah, that's how that happens. That's the sort of the backstory. And so men who can channel are feared because the taint still sits. So they go mad. They want power. They try and armies, blah blah. The women do not wield the one power in as open a way, typically. But they do have a lot of influence among kings and queens. Oh, we get to meet the Amyrlin, or the Amyrlin. Silan Sanchi. I probably said that wrong. I haven't looked at the glossary in ages. And the Keeper of the Chronicles, who is Leanne. We get to see... Do we see Leanne? No. We see Liandrin. We get to see Liandrin. And we get to see Verin. Verin is amazing. Verin is like my favorite for ages. And then I was shocked. Oh, and I think it's worth pointing out that we get to see Bella. Bella is a horse. You will see Bella through the entire... I have no idea why. Somehow, this tiny pony horse, who's like just old and like, what the hell? But she's in every book. Like, by the time you get to the last couple of books, you're like, no, she's described as being pretty sort of old and sort of worn out anyway. This horse is immortal. There's a few of my friends that have sort of like a bet that Bella is the dark one, and that is why she lives, because she survived everything. She's got the heart of a warhorse, that crazy shaggy mare. So the Eye of the World is a pool of untainted male half of the One Power, and in it is held the Horn of Valir and the Banner of the Dragon, and also one of the seals of the Dark One's prison, which, when they discover it, is shattered. We get to see Rand and Mat running from loads of dark friends through this entire book. They're trying ever so hard to be like, we don't know what's going on. We get to meet some Tinkers. We get to meet all sorts of people. It's amazing. I couldn't really describe the plot without completely ruining the story. And then we get to see a Forsaken get exploded. We get to meet the Green Man. The Green Man is amazing. Love the Green Man. He's basically an Ent. He is an Ent. if you're familiar with Tolkien, that's what he is. He's an Ent. But he's epic. We get to see a little bit of the Blight. We get to learn about the Shinarans. Like, it's amazing. There's so much that happens. Like, I couldn't even say without, like, literally being here talking and explaining for hours, and then I want to tell you about other things, and there'd be other stuff after those things, and there'd be all the minuscule details, and then I'd just be like, look, just read the fucking book. So, this is one of those things where it's such a big, long, epic series that, like, when I'm reading it, I'm like, but then when I want to talk about it, I get really excited. And the fact is, I simply get lost in the drudge of trying to get through it, and I kind of almost forget how much I love it. And I really do love it. So, you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, is this a buy or not buy? Is this a buy secondhand? Is this a buy full price? I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. Robert Jordan himself has passed away a few years ago. The new books are written by a man, written is wrong, because he does write it as much as he can with the voice of Robert Jordan, but while being different. I think they're better written, because I think, personally, for me, I prefer actually how Brandon Sanderson writes, especially how he writes women, and you can totally tell they have a lot more strength now, which is nice. Because if there was, one complaint, I would say that Robert Jordan will make incredibly strong women, and then about halfway through the series, to make sure that they do whatever they're needed to in the series, they will become blithering idiots. Completely retarded. Like, just stupid. So that would be my one criticism. But yeah, you should read it. You should read it. You should buy it in any form you can get your hands on it. If that's for your e-reader, if that's secondhand, if it's stealing it from your friend, whatever. Get them, read them. The first one, I had forgotten how awesome it is. Oh my god, we get to see Tom Maryland being epic. And you're like, that little old man's not gonna fight that Fade. And then he's all like, oh yes I am. And then he like explodes. We haven't seen him again. What happened to him? I know I don't remember. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a bit of the way through the Great Hunt, which I couldn't explain unless I ruined the story for you. But let it be known that this is an awesome series, and I'm going to keep reviewing these as I keep running through them. I also don't remember which book of the series, which book of my 52 for 2012 this is. I just don't. I have no idea. I was keeping track. It's all gone to shit now. E.L. James ruined everything. I'm pretty sure that's not the first thing she's ruined. Seriously, that smut, like really, I must be filthy. No, isn't that smutty? This, the Wheel of Time series, not smutty either. There's some violence, not really graphic detailing or anything like that. It's good. It's really, really good. And you like some good fantasy, it's good. It's good. You'll enjoy it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. As always, any questions, comments, whatever, leave them below or send me a message. I will respond to you as quickly as I can. If you are reading the series again, or even for the first time, please let me know what you think of it. I want to have a chat with this about somebody, because the person that I would normally be talking to, I can't talk to anymore. I hate when that happens, and you're like, but I'm excited about this again. I can't talk to them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching to me ramble and make noises at you. I hope you stayed for the end. I hope it was amusing. Anyway, I hope you have a really awesome weekend wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Okay.